In this part, I am going to show the complete franchisee journey in the franchisee management module, starting from the website inquiry form and ending with the final operational launch of the franchisee. This is one of the most important flow in the module because it connects the full business process in one chain. It starts when a customer shows interest in taking a franchisee and it ends only when all the required checks are completed and the franchisee is fully ready to operate. Let's start from the website. The customer first visits the franchisee website and open the franchisee application form. From here, applicant enter their business interests and submit the franchisee request online. In the website form, the applicant provides the main franchisee inquiry detail like applicant name, company name, contact person name, phone number, interested location, select the region, select the franchisee plan. You have to select the investment capacity, you have to select the expected launch date, address and business experience. Also, you have to upload the required document. After that, you have to click on this submit inquiry button. If any other document is required, you can select and upload it from here. So this way you can upload all the required document. This helps the business to collect the initial information and document from the very beginning. Once the form is submitted, the system automatically creates a franchisee application record inside Odoo. Now let's move to the backend side. To review this request, we open the franchisee management module and go to the application. Here, the new application appears in the application pipeline. At the beginning, the application is in early review stage, where the internal team checks the applicant detail, business interest and submitted document. At this stage, the internal team can review the application, verify the upload document and make sure the required information is available. The module supports the required document control, so the application should not move forward unless the mandatory documents are received properly. After the review is completed, the application can be moved into the approval stage, but in this module, approval does not mean the franchisee is already live. Approval means the applicant is accepted to move into the pre-franchisee onboarding stage. The first stage is new. When an application is in new stage, it means the request has just been received and is newly created in the system. At this point, the company has not started active follow-up. The next stage is contacted. This means the internal team has made the first contact with the applicant. In simple words, the applicant has now been reached by the business and the process has officially started moving. After that comes meeting schedule. This means the company has planned a meeting or discussion with the applicant. This may be a qualification call, business introduction meeting, or a discussion to understand the applicant better before moving forward. The next stage is document requested. This means the business has asked the applicant to provide the required document. At this point, the process cannot move ahead until the requested papers are submitted properly. Here you can check the required documents. which applicant upload. This stage confirms that the necessary documents have been received by the company. In this module, this stage is controlled properly and the system checks the mandatory requirement documents are attached before continue. After that comes under evaluation. This means the internal team is now evaluating the full application. At this stage, the business review the applicant details, submitted document, business background, investment capacity, and overall suitability for the franchisee opportunity. If the evaluation is successful, the application move to approved for onboarding. This is very important stage in the module. Approved here does not mean the franchisee is already live. It means the applicant has passed evaluation and is now accepted to move into the onboarding stage. At this point, the system can create the franchisee record and generate the agreement for the next controlled process. There is also a rejected stage. If the company decides not to proceed with the applicant, the application can be moved to the rejected. This clearly marks that the franchisee request is closed without moving into the onboarding or launch. Now let's continue with the successful flow. Once the application is approved for onboarding, the agreement process begins. The system creates the franchisee agreement using the selected franchisee plan and its terms, including royalty related condition. The agreement is reviewed and sent for a signature. Before sending for the signature, it is necessary to approve the agreement internally. So finance user and legal user have to approve the agreement first. Once agreement is approved internally, you have to send agreement for the signature. Here you have to select the agreement document. And send for a signature. The agreement is then reviewed and sent for the signature. The franchisee can log in through the portal and open My Franchisee and select the appropriate franchisee record. In this, user can see the agreement details. By clicking on this agreement button, user can download the agreement PDF. After read the agreement PDF, user have to upload the signed document and accept the agreement terms. Portal acceptance is required before the agreement is treated as a signed properly. After portal acceptance is done, user have to click in this mark sign button. After agreement signed, the onboarding process begins. During onboarding, the company completes the required checklist and setup work. These may include a business setup, operational preparation, document verification, system readiness, and other launch-related tasks. For begin the onboarding, click on this button. Here you have to complete all the checklist. Once you start checking this onboarding, click the start button and then click the complete button. But if all the checklists are not completed, it will not allow to complete the onboarding. So before that, you have to complete all the checklist. Once you complete all the checklist, system will allow to complete the onboarding process. Once the onboarding is completed, agreement is signed, the unit is fully ready, the business can move to the final stage, which is operationally launched. Now you have to activate the agreement again and mark the application as a operationally launched. But before mark it operationally launched, it must be connected with one franchisee unit and that unit must be approved or active before launch. From here, user have to create one franchisee unit for that franchisee. You have to give a name of that unit. Then you have to select the franchisee. You have to select the territory of that unit. Here you can add a staff count number, store size, contact number, working hours, etc. Once you start the setup of the unit, you have to click on this Start Setup button. Once the setup has been completed and ready for the launch, user have to click in this button. Then user have to approve the launch. But before launch, it is mandatory to complete all the onboarding. So in the onboarding, you have to select a franchisee unit which we already create onboarding. Once you select the franchisee unit in the onboarding, it will allow to approve the launch. But yes, if no any audit has been created for this unit, it will not allow. So all the data must be created before activate the launch or activate the unit. We have to create audit. For that, you have to go in the compliance and click on the audit. Create a new record. Select the franchisee and unit. Add the checklist. Select the appropriate audit category and give the score. Once the audit has been started, click this Start button, and once the audit has been completed, click this Complete button. Now it will allow to approve the launch of the unit and activate the unit. Once you activate the agreement, complete the onboarding and complete the unit, it will operationally allow to launch the franchisee. Once the onboarding is completed, agreement is signed and unit is fully ready, the business can move to the final stage, which is operationally launched. This is the last stage of the application journey. It means the application is no longer just an approved candidate. The franchisee is now fully ready and launched for a real business operation. So, if we summarize the exact application stage in this module, new means the request is received, contacted means the business has reached the applicant, meeting schedule means a discussion is planned, document requested means the applicant has been asked to submit the required papers, document received means the required paper have been submitted, under evaluation means the company is reviewing the complete case, approved for onboarding means the applicant has passed evaluation and can move into the agreement and onboarding, rejected means the company has decided not to proceed, and operationally launched means the full process is complete and the franchisee is ready for a real operations. This stage flow is very useful because it gives the company a clear structure and prevent a confusion between a simple approval and actual business launch. So that was the complete flow from website franchisee request to a final franchisee launch based on the actual module stages. It helps the business to capture an inquiry online, move application through a controlled review process, complete agreement and onboarding properly, and launch only those franchisees who are fully ready for operation.